The views expressed in this video presentation are my opinions and not necessarily the opinions of guests and others sharing or reposting this video. The content is produced only for educational and informational purposes. Do not regard any statements in this video as a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. Investing comes with risk to loss of principal. Always conduct your own research and seek guidance from a professional investment advisor. I am not a professional investment advisor. I'm Dollar Will. Give me just a second, folks. Give me just a second. All right. Always something comes up as soon as you hop on. Sorry for this delay. Let's see. See who we got here before I kick it off. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with it. So I can move on other things. I got so many tabs here. All right. This is a quick look at the S&P 500. I said quick. I need to get going. What we have here is a shooting star candlestick. That's a bearish indicator right at this moment. So that's one thing to be concerned about. If you want to read about it, it's in the top of the chat. I put a link there. And this is the S&P 500 chart. Y'all got to forgive me. I'm kind of dragging today. And I wanted to show, look, going down to the 30-minute scale, this is what happened at the end of the day. Okay, we had a nice gap up. Okay, nice big gap too. It jumped over even the high, the prior high, as well as, of course, the previous day. So, but we ended the day pretty much where we started. So this candlestick right here, just to go in, this candlestick here, you can look at across the top. It's 29.69.36 is the low, and at the bottom of the screen, that's 9:30, so that's at the open, and at the low at the end is 29.67. Let's see, this low is 29.69. So actually, we closed lower. Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't close lower. The low, the intraday low, was lower at the end of the day than where it started, and the momentum is negative. This is a 30-minute chart. This is the S&P 500, and as I said, you also got this shooting star pattern, and you'll see here when you click the link at the top, this shows you what the shooting star is. You can read a little bit, and again, this is a service I provide for the S&P 500, you guys, because the S&P 500 is just too important. I do have a Patreon site. where I go deeper into technical analysis. I talk about much more than the S&P 500. I am primarily a forex trader. Primarily, my stock market activity is driven by my perspective of the currency market. I am dollar will because I am dollar centric in my trading. So with the dollar being the default currency of the world, and major commodities like oil and metals priced in that, um, my thesis of what to trade is pretty much driven by the relationship of the U.S. dollar to other currencies. So I hang out in the energy and metals space, as well as the major currency pairs involving the dollar, like the Swiss franc, the euro, the British pound, the Japanese yen, that kind of thing. So that's who I am, and I teach technical analysis on my Patreon as it relates to the dollar. I show the relationship between Forex and how you can glean information about the stock market based on Forex. Because if you didn't know, Forex is the dog, the stock market is the tail. The Forex market is many times larger than the stock market. By its very nature, the Forex market is global. So the world is there trading the forex market. So you see certain patterns there that show up in the various stock markets around the world. So basically, I trade the macro. Okay. All right. Back to this. And I said this is gonna be a short video. Let me try to stay to it. I would like to make a 10-minute video one day. All right. So this is the S&P 500, and I told you so this is a shooting star, and then we also have an ETF, SPY. It's the same thing. It's just trades as ETF. And what we have here is a doji. And you see that here, it looks like this one is called gravestone. Okay, you can read about that there. But basically, what I do is I use I look at I'm an Elliott wave theory trader. I use the stochastic oscillator is pretty much the only oscillator I use regularly. Occasionally, I look at some others, but um, I use the stochastic oscillator. I use price action, um, that school of thought. So I mentioned Elliott wave theory and some very basic candlesticks. So I used to and use a whole lot of different techniques, but over time, uh, you I I scaled it down, and I noticed that a lot of other people end up doing the same thing too. So at some point you got to make a decision, make a trade, and be confident about what you're seeing. But this doji candlestick here, basically what it means is the price open. Hold on, I'm trying to just get to see the daggone in. Okay, if I can. All right. It looks like a little cross at the bottom. What the short of it is the market opened and closed at about the same price. Okay, so that's the kind of like indecision. Okay, so that's not optimism. Okay, so that's a negative sign. And again, I showed you on the 30-minute chart on the S&P 500 how it changed this. I'm sorry, yeah, this site changed the way that this is investing.com, and this is a free site. Uh, I'm sorry, please forgive me for dragging so much today. Oh, this is it. They changed some stuff around. Yeah, see, now this is ugliness. So again, when to me this is important because it happened in the last half hour of the day on a Friday. going into the weekend. So that says to me that the people were not comfortable holding their money in the market over the weekend. Now I want to get to one other thing, then I'm gonna close this video down. Let's see. I'm sorry. This big decline here, which is where the high was, back around, my eyes are shot. What is this, y'all? The 19th. Is it September the 19th? I think that's about it. I track the options market. I'm not an options trader, but I track it. And when this decline happened, I put it in the video that the put call ratio was extreme. That, as well as Elliott wave theory, candlestick theory, oscillators, my longer term analysis of the chart. When I say longer term, I go back, y'all. I go back. I have a century view of the Dow. It's the first video on my channel. So I'm a Elliott wave theory technical analysis purist, y'all. So I had my suspicion that the price would hold here, and I peeked over at the put call ratio, and the puts were outnumbering the calls by a very large number. I think it was 3-1, 3 times more puts than calls. The puts are negative, pessimistic bets against the near term. And this was a week out option that was expiring a week out. And so I look today. So you look at that. I look today, or Friday, yesterday. And so this is an option that expires the 18th, which is this Friday. So it's 7 days, 5 trading days next week. The market ended higher. So let that run through your mind. It's a Friday. The market ended higher. So and it made a higher high. Therefore, you would think that there would be optimism. Now let me go down to the end. This is barchart.com. Another free site. They have good stuff. I might end up subscribing to them. It's not a plug, but I really do like the way that they sort the information, sort the stocks into the industry, various sectors for you. It's a lot of good information in the hands of a technical trader. This is like great stuff. But I think fundamental traders would like this site too. So what you see is the puts here are outnumbering the calls 2.07. So they're 2.07 times more puts than calls traded traded in this particular expiration. Now, in terms of at the end, these are just transactions. Think of it that way. This is open interest is how many stayed on the book. So these are open positions. There's real money sitting on the books right now, betting against the S&P 500, and it's 2.61 times more puts on the books. Right now, real money sitting there over the weekend. They didn't sell and run. They held their position. Okay. They did the opposite of that, what that big red candlestick was. I showed you on the 30-minute chart. This is real money sitting in the options market, and the pessimism, the puts, are outweighing the optimistic calls, or if you want to put it this way, the bears are outweighing the bulls 2.61 to 1. Okay. And this is for an option that expires Friday. And we're talking about a market that ended positive on a Friday. But the options market is saying we're not buying it. And it was right before and at calling that downturn. So I'm pretty bearish this market. I'm not buying it. This represents my point of view, my sentiment of the market. This picture shows it very well. Let me go back to the day. Okay, that doji shows it very well. Represents my point of view very well. This shooting star represents my point of view very well. I'm pretty bearish. That's all I got. Let me check over in the chat, and I'm gonna shut this on down. I'm gonna have some other videos coming up. If I can steal away tomorrow during football, I want to talk about this bond thing and the government's move, announcing that they're going to be buying up paper. You know, that's also pretty, I think, bearish for the stock market. Okay, I think. Okay, so they're going to create a demand in that bond space. So it's going to be very interesting to keep your eye on that. But I want to go deeper into it in its own video. But that's one that's coming up. And let me see who's in the house. What's up, Doug? What's up? What's up, Rainy Woman? What's up? All right. Let's see. What y'all up to this day? This Saturday. What am I missing in the on these YouTube streets? What's up, CR Frank? Thank you for riding as usual. Let's see, you got any what's on your mind regarding these markets? What are you buying, or what are you selling? What are you thinking about buying? What are you thinking about selling? Give me something. Put a symbol out there. What are you attracted to? You know, it's a lot of money made in times like this. You know, it's not everything goes down. Most things go down, and you can always short. There's always ways to make money. You know, and that's what I'm going to be pointing out a lot on my channel. You know, on the especially on the Patreon, other ways to make money. So I guess holding Bitcoin for the long road. Oh man, you break my heart with that, man. Yeah, I'm definitely against hodling. I say get with some technical analysis, man. You can save yourself a lot of pain. You know, I don't know. Bitcoin is maybe I'll do I think I'm gonna do a video on that maybe in the next 2 days, because that has a little bit more to go down at a minimum, at least. You know, at least. Oh, okay, Doug, multitasking. All right, all right. You guys are night workers, weekend night workers. I did that for a decade. I worked overnight. I actually loved it. I loved it. I loved the fact that the bosses were not around, and the small number of people in the building. You know, this big company that has maybe 600 people in the building during the day had, you know, maybe 10 people in the building at night. So it forced everybody, or maybe more like 20, maybe 20, 25, something like that. But it forced everybody to just to communicate the old way, you know, pick up the phone and call you and come look you in the eye, and not, you know, everything being email related. And if you had a conflict with somebody on the shift, you worked it out. You know, there's no other managers there. You got to get through the night. So yeah, but volatility is through the roof. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. And I'm too lazy to put up that TVIX, but that's going to pop. That's going to pop soon. It's kind of going, it looks like it's kind of making a sideways move, but maybe I'm overdue for a video on that too. He said, people thought I was crazy for buying at 32. My phone rang like crazy this past summer. Oh, you talking about Bitcoin. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I don't own any cryptocurrency. I'm not in it right now. But because that Bitcoin is paired with the dollar and I'm so bullish the dollar, that's making me suspicious of it. We'll see how it goes. There is an outside chance. I'm kind of borderline. I'm in the middle. Maybe in about a week or so, I'm gonna have a clearer opinion within myself, at least, about what Bitcoin is going to do. The bottom might be in. It might be, and that's, for me to say that, is huge. So it may be doing its own thing. The dollar may not have as big of an impact on it as my logic wants to think. But I'm just looking at that chart, and I think it has a little bit more to pull back. But that bottom might hold. It might hold, but like I said, maybe in a week or so, it should be clear what Bitcoin is going to do. What Bitcoin is going to do, and I think we're going to see a spike in this dollar. I think it's going to be a vicious move north, and we'll see how. And now, if Bitcoin does not move down, say at the same rate or scale that the dollar moves up, then I could I that might push me even more into the camp of thinking that maybe that bottom is in Bitcoin. But I'm just I'm gonna hold off on that for now. I'm not really sure. Not really sure. It looks like it could be in. What makes me think so is a decline from 20,000 down to 3,000. That's a huge decline. We talking, that's like what, 80, what's my math? What are we talking? 85%, something like that. That's a significant decline. And I'm thinking, even if we're talking Elliott wave theory, wave two, because that's what, when I was doing my Bitcoin charts, in my Elliott wave count, I was referring to, or regarding, that $20,000 level as the completion of a 5 count, and which called for a significant, price destruction, on the order of what we already have. So 85%. That's a huge beating, and that might be it. We may have seen the bottom in this in this Bitcoin when it went down in that way. I'm not looking at the chart now. When it went in that $3,000 area, that might be it. But we'll see soon. But I'm gonna shut this on down. Peace, fam. Thanks for riding with me.